I'm saying? Season 2 of Life Unscrpted, you know what I'm saying? I'm right here, you already know your boy Ron with.
What's up, man? It's your boy Devin, aka Pharaoh on YouTube. What's going on with y'all, man?
You know what I'm saying? Season 2, new co-host, and we finna run it, y'all. Hope y'all fuck with all the content that's gonna be pushing y'all way. And stay tuned for more, you know what I'm saying? When you put your goals up, do you put like timelines, or obviously because it's semester-based goals, right? Or do you have other goals besides the schooling?
Yeah, for me as it pertains to like content and stuff like that. But you can put a timeline on things that you want to do. Life has other plans for you. So I can sit here and I can say in 6 months this is where I want to be and be going in a completely different direction. That's not up to me. Obviously, I try to set a timeline, like this is when I want to get stuff done. This is like what my schedule looks like, but it don't always work out that way. You know what I'm saying? So
I love timelines. I love them.
like when you set goals, do you also say like this is when I want to have achieved that goal?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
The reason why, because it puts that fire behind me. But with the timeline, I don't be hecka mad when I don't reach it though either.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Are you more disappointed when you don't reach that goal by the specific date, like you said?
Nah, not at all.
No?
I use it like set it again. Try again. Try again. That string broke. Let's try another string. You know what I'm saying? Another method, and let's set the goal again. Let's set the same timeline. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna keep hustling, bustling like we didn't just fail. That's how I do it though. I don't let the not hit the timeline defeat me. But it does get rough, you know, when you keep missing timelines that you set. Especially when you're doing something by yourself with no like mentoring. Like you just learning by yourself, and it's you're crafting your own lane. Let's say if you have a business that's nobody invested in before, like for instance with the herbal, my dad got to do. Like there was nobody doing that when he started. So imagine setting timelines with that type of stuff. It'll be a different vibe compared to
low battery.
She in there. Yeah. So guys. But yeah, that threw me off a little bit. But yeah. So it does get a little bit discouraging when you had to keep resetting that same timeline. You know what I'm saying? So it's like battling that.
Is it always resetting the timeline, or do you say, okay, I didn't, like with your current strategy, you didn't hit the goal, so do you change your strategy, or do you keep going down the same path and like kind of trust the process or something like that?
It's hard to, it's two ways. It's difficult. I ain't gonna lie, it's difficult. Sometimes you don't know what's right and what's wrong. Let's say, for instance, like how soon are you going to change? Like, for instance, let's say you have a content goal, like a methodology for putting out, I guess, results, huh? Damn. Because really, what this happened for me was trading. So when I'm doing my trading with my strategy, I don't want to do. I didn't have a profitable month this month. Let me next month switch my whole strategy up. So it's like figuring out when to switch, when not to switch, and having that golden line. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's say how you do certain way of content. This month you just didn't do your content the best of your behavior. It could have been because you emotionally wasn't there. But that, because you emotionally wasn't there don't mean that you had to switch the whole strategy. Maybe just what you had going on in the month probably, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Or?
Yeah. I'll say this though, like specifically with content and YouTube, for a long time I was doing strictly like the long form videos and I wasn't growing as much. I did that for about 1.5 years, and then we just had this conversation about, you know, why I started posting the short form, and you know, I've kind of seen a lot better results doing that. And my goal was always like after 1 year, I wanted to have a certain number of subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And I had that goal set. I was like, okay, when I started YouTube, I was like, in 1 year, this how many subs I want to have, and I didn't hit that. I was way off. But when I started posting short form and like YouTube Shorts and going on TikTok, I started seeing crazy uptick in
and then that's what I want to hone in on more. So looking back on that and your methodology on that, when should you have switched up the strategy?
I couldn't have predicted that because it was always just trust the process. Like that's why I asked you that, because it was like, okay, they might not be these videos might not be getting the views I want them to now.
Okay, yeah.
But if I keep posting, I'll eventually, they'll eventually get the traction I think they deserve. But it wasn't working out that way.
Yeah.
And I didn't hit my goal in the time frame that I had set. So I was like, okay, I'm going to rethink my strategy and come back and try and switch it up and do something different.
So you stuck with the same plan that whole goal?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking back on it, like at that right there, Bow, do you think that, how long did you say trust the process when you having no traction?
I mean, I guess you go by feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel that you've put 100% of your effort into this current strategy, like, and you can see it going somewhere? Like, if you can't see the path ahead, then you got to switch it up. But if you still believe in it and you're still like, this will work, as long as your heart is in it, like, you got to carry it out.
You know what I think? Weekly, monthly, and then like, 3 month, quarterly. But what my point on is reflection. You could do a weekly reflect. Let's say you're on that goal for the sub count, whatever it is. At the end of the week, you looked at what you did and you looked at the traction. You're like, okay, let's see if this continues for a month. And then you'll look at if this continues for, I'm not gonna hit this goal. Like, let's say you got 3 months left, or let's say like based off of your traction and the number of months left, you could kind of gauge what your expected value would be just because of what the past has shown you. So if I keep going this route, the past has shown I get one, I don't know what it is, but let's say you got 10 subscribers, but you're only getting one every 3 months.
Yeah.
So me doing that ain't gonna equal me getting this result. So I gotta either start thinking outside the box or looking at for some inspiration somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to change something up. I think the biggest problem is ego. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I have to switch this up? Like you probably don't want to, because like for me, I think things through deeply. So when something doesn't work out, I'm like, nah, I got to make this work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
But that's how it feel. And you got to like kill your ego in a way and say, okay, nah, this really ain't working. Like you got to look at things objectively. Bro, there's this quote. Oh my goodness. I don't know if y'all, what show was that on, bro? Not Sway. I think it was Big Boy in the morning or something like that. And he had A Boogie on, and he was joking, but like I like to like read in between the lines. And he goes, you got to think about things how you don't want to think about things. And then Big Boy asked him, what you mean by that? And he was like, nah, I'm just joking. But like if you really think about it, like,
and he started laughing.
Yeah, you got sometimes you have to think about certain things and situations how you probably don't want to think about them. You know what I'm saying? Because it helped change your perspective and guide you going in a certain direction.
But yeah, no, that was a great point. Sometimes you gotta think about things the way you don't want to think about it. That's how it went, right?
Yeah.
That's a great point. And one thing I learned when I started doing when I was doing poker, it was poker and reports on the business taught me that numbers don't lie. When I look at these numbers, it's telling me everything I know. Nothing is fake. Nothing is flawed. Nothing is exaggerated. It's reality right here. You're looking at reality. If it say for me it was poker, right? If it say I got a 30% win rate, I'm losing my single raise hands, three pop. I forgot the terminology, y'all. It's been that long. My three raised. I can't remember the terminology, but it basically was telling me what the numbers were, my win rate with them, and exactly why I was losing. And the reason that when I stopped playing poker, my biggest downfall was I was losing 3 raised pots. I could win all the single raised pots, but if you're losing the big pots, it don't matter if you have a 70% win rate, because your losses, it may be small amount of losses, but they are heavier than all the wins you're getting.
Because it's for more.
It's for more.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I never fixed that issue though, but I'm just saying, like, if you look at your reflections of your things and talking to people, then you know what I'm saying? You'll be able to keep yourself in reality, if that make any sense. That make sense?
Yeah.
But that's what taught me. I was like, numbers don't lie. Like I like to write all my stuff down. It don't lie. It tells me exactly what I need to know. And just you gotta keep reflecting too. Like when I had my goal, like one time with the trading, right? I was being idiotic. I was gambling for real. In the sense of like, I wasn't moving practically. I was putting money in when my results didn't warrant that money to be put in yet. It's like I'm not making no money off the streaming, but I invested it, but let's say you going above and beyond. You going like legendary quality with the streaming, and nobody even going to your streams. So it's like you ain't getting no return on that investment. Now it's different, you just doing it for the love, but in trading, you putting up money every time. So that's what I was thinking about. It was just like it was a not grounded in reality, and tracking your numbers will ground you in reality. And talking to people, like, because sometimes that ego may get you a certain way, and then talking about it and hearing you say what your thought process is make you hear how foolish that thought process is. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that and you know you are losing like this?
It was a thing with me too when I started posting like the shorts and I started seeing results. I was like, why didn't I start this sooner? You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to ask you something about your stream. But yeah, bro.
All right then, y'all. Peace out.
That's how you gonna wrap it up?
I mean, shit, like and subscribe.
That's how you gonna wrap it? No outro? You got an intro, you ain't got an outro?
Do you have one?
Alright, y'all, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope y'all did I'm not about to do my intro for your shit. If y'all did enjoy the podcast, bruh, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Share the podcast with the people that you know. Comment down below what part of the conversation affected you the most. Or what do you think? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? You know what I'm saying? Get involved.
You actually got an outro. I ain't never had an outro.
You gotta come up with something, bro. You can't be like, all right, y'all, bye. And
like and subscribe.
You gonna fade the black?
Yeah, I did not know you, bro. You really had an outro. All right, then. Peace out.